Transition from Psalm 27, verse 4, to prepare us for these upcoming Chagim. The next holiday in the series is Simchat Torah on Sunday, and right now we're in the Shabbat of Chol HaMoed Sukkot, which commands us to be joyful. So we're going to sing these verses of joy, which we will again sing on Simchat Torah Erev on Sunday night. 3:59. At the bottom, apparently.
You shall rejoice in your festival, and you shall have nothing but joy. As the cantor said, it is Chol HaMoed Sukkot. We are in the intermediate days of Sukkot. Tonight, let our shelters be strung with the finest fruits of creation, love, fertility, prosperity, wisdom. Let us promise to feed the hungry. Let our harvest bring peace and joy. Joy, Sukkot is the most joyous holiday, and our sages say. Shabbat brings even more joy, and we as a community are filled with even more joy as our families here celebrate simchas, celebrate times of joy, two bar mitzvahs, two b'nei mitzvah. It's our honor to call up Andrew Goodman and Nathan Lane with their families to light our Shabbat candles.
Oh, מדליק We welcome Shabbat, we sing songs of joy. There's a variety of them, but we have been opening with Shirul Adonai Shir Chadash. I feel a change coming on, maybe after the Chagim. But for now, we shall sing this song once again, these new words that we sing every Shabbat anew. On page, oh no, first we're doing Shalom Aleichem, I'm sorry.
Page 24.
Well, that whole speech went through. Page 24, and then sing unto God in His
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Orachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Before we get to page 13, I forgot. Let's take a second and welcome each other. Welcome to Temple B'nai Or. Let's turn to the people around you. Wish each other a Shabbat Shalom, a Chag Sameach. If you're online, please say hi in the chat. Introduce yourselves to someone you don't know. So now let's turn to page 13.
Join us singing. Shirul Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shirul Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shirul Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru Yom Le'yom Yeshuato, Basru Bagoim Kevodo, Bechol Ha'amim Nifleotai, Yigdol Adonai,
Chadodi is on page 20. We're singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, there's a tradition to rise and face the entrance as we welcome in the Shabbat bride.
מכוון אלך, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם אסוכה, סוף המסע במחשבה תחילה. כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, לי לי לי, יא לה 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 לה, לקראת כלה, יא לה 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 לה, פני שבת, פני שבת נקלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה,
Page 28. Baruch Adonai, HaMevorach Le'olam Let's pray together on page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzavaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו
Amen. Page 32. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We'll rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני
Adonai Elohechem. Amen. Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
We have a brilliant pianist at this place at Temple Mayor, and sometimes I just throw a curveball at him and he never misses. I don't even know what a curveball is, but he always catches on. So this quick move that just happened here, which he did completely smoothly. You didn't even notice this was going on. If I didn't walk over there, you didn't know this was going on. So we changed from our regular Michamocha to our Sukkot Michamocha, and this is called Nusach Sukkot. And we're going to enjoy this melody for a couple more days. We sang it for Sukkot, maybe you remember. And we're gonna la-la-la it. And after we're done doing a verse of la-la-la, we're gonna magically plug in the Mi Chamocha words on page 40. חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen. Page 42.
Now we take a moment to ask God to protect us. It's a good evening it's a good prayer for the evening time when the sun is setting. But Rabbi pointed out, and I will re-point out again, that if you look towards the bottom of the page, the bottom of the prayer, we bless Adonai, we say, Baruch Ata Adonai, Hapores Sukkot Shalom, a sukkah of peace, Aleinu, on us, Ve'al Kol Amo Israel, and the people Israel and Jerusalem, V'chol Yoshvei Tevel, you can add all the people of the world and the universe. So this prayer that we sing every evening, asking God to protect us when we are afraid from anything, could be from even our own selves. We especially pay attention in this season of Sukkot, where we are asked to dwell in a sukkah for 7 days to remind us that we are vulnerable people and that we are lucky to have shelter, but that is not the case for all people in the world. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim lechaim. And here we are, we ask for God to give us the sukkah. Uforos aleinu sukkot shlomecha v'takneinu be'itza tova milfanecha v'hoshienu l'man shemecha. הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל ירושלים.
Amen. Page 44. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת turn to page 155. Please rise for the Amidah. We'll begin singing together, and then we'll continue privately the words of our ancestors or our contemporary prayers through page 167. Remember to include the special words for Sukkot. When, of course, the words of your hearts, when you are finished, you may be seated.
אל תיקח
We pray for our loved ones in need of refuah shlema, a healing of body, a healing of spirit. This Shabbat, we are praying for Peter Adamson, Larry Benson, Margot Blaustein, Lisa Bush, Peter Demmer, Claudia DeJesu, Nicholas DeJesu, Richard Feibel, Bruce Goldman, Harriet Goldstein, Paige Holt, Oliver Horn, John Houston, Sheila Carner, Barbara Cavadius, Gay Clapman, Leon Curlin, Sherry Levis, Deborah Littman, Joseph Lupkin, Lori Mazzarella, Harold Moffat, Reese Osmond, Judy Ragona, Eileen Reinfleisch, Gail Rush, Buddy Scott, Bernice Side, Alan Silverstein, Gilbert Simon, Glenn Swatinsky, Marjorie Van Dow, Allison Rosen Vogel, Lisa Wolper, Edie Weinstein, and Izzy Yagoda. If you're online and are praying for someone, you can put their names in the chat. If we're thinking of someone tonight and you'd like to say their name, please do so as I go around. Online we have A.G. Reed Sr., Pat Moon, Roberta Rosen, and Steve Raskin. As the cantor knows, that I get kind of nerdy around guitars. I'm a big guitar nerd. And my older son, he's not here tonight, so I'll talk about him, and don't tell him I said this because he would kill me and then maybe kill you. Yeah. He's also becoming a guitar nerd. And so a couple of months ago, I brought him to see a concert in New Jersey from someone who is a guitar innovator, or was a still is alive, but was a great guitar innovator in the 60s, Roger McGuinn, who played for if you who were around in the 60s, who did he play? Who was he the front man for? The Byrds, come on. The Byrds. He played a 12-string electric guitar, which the Beatles actually were the innovators, and then he took it even further. Why is this long wind up? So during this concert, it was just him solo, no other musicians, and he was telling stories about the songs that he sang, and he was telling the story about this song. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a turn, 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 which he learned, the song he learned from Pete Seeger. It was from a previous generation, the folk singer. But Pete Seeger wrote this tune, not the turn, turn, turn part. He wrote that part himself, but he got the words from, good, Ecclesiastes, or since we're Jews, let's say it in Hebrew, Kohelet. Kohelet, the book of Kohelet, one of the books in the Hebrew Bible that is traditional to read during Sukkot. There's different traditions. Some read it on the Shabbat of Sukkot, some read it throughout Sukkot a little bit every day, some read it on Shmini Atzeret, which is the 8th day, the festival that's ending our whole season of festivals. To everything there is a season, right? A time to be born and a time to die. But I want to start out with some other words from Kohelet, Sefer Kohelet, the book of Ecclesiastes, which I don't even know what that means in Greek or Latin. Kohelet, just an aside, Kohelet is the name of the person in the book who's the writer of the book. Tradition says it was King Solomon, and he's using a pseudonym. It means something like maybe like the gatherer or something like that. But I want to talk about not chapter 3, the turn chapter, the first words of the book. Divrei Kohelet ben David melech Yerushalayim. The words of Kohelet, son of David, king in Jerusalem. Havel havalim, Amar Kohelet. Havel havalim, hakol havel. How do we translate that? The King James Bible, the old English translation from like 400 years ago, I think, translates Havel Havalim. The word comes from Hevel in Hebrew, also the name of Adam and Eve's son, which becomes anglicized as Abel, but Hevel. The King James translates it as vanity of vanities. Vanity of vanities, said Kohelet. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Okay? Vanity back then didn't mean what it means now totally. Now, what does vanity mean? Self-absorption, right? The whole world is self-absorption. That's not what it meant. Maybe we get closer with another translation. The modern Bible scholar Michael Fox, not the actor, says absurdity of absurdities. All is absurdity. Okay? But I actually like the translation, a new translation by Robert Alter, another Bible scholar, merest breath. All is mere breath. Hevel in Hebrew actually means like mist. It can mean breath also. So what is Kohelet trying to convey right here in the first verse? Havel havalim amar Kohelet, havel havalim hakol havel. Merest breath, said Kohelet, merest breath. All is mere breath. All of life is mere breath. I don't think he's talking about the respiratory system. What is he saying? All of life is when God breathed life into us in the second chapter of Genesis. Right, it could be that all of life is the gift of God, or all of life is animated by God, maybe, but it's a different word they use, right? So that's the word ruach. I think it means fleeting. Who said that? Mark said that? Yeah, fleeting. All of life is fleeting. Fleeting, F-L-E-E-T-I-N-G, fleeting. And so, why do we read these words on Sukkot? Sukkot, which is our most joyous holiday. Don't we want to think of all of life as being full and robust and just overflowing? But no, we read these words and say life is fleeting. Well, some traditional responses to that question. Why do we read Kohelet at Sukkot? Well, one is just because we're trying to read all these other books of the Bible on festivals. On Pesach we read Shir HaShirim, on Shavuot we read Ruth, on Purim we read Esther, on Tisha B'Av we read Echa, so we need to read this one too. Okay, but let's look for some deeper meaning. Well, tradition says that King Solomon wrote this book at the end of his life, and he's thinking about his life being fleeting. No matter how long our lives are, they're still fleeting. But then let's tie it to the Sukkah. The Sukkah is a structure, the Sukkah is a structure that can be blown over very easily. And so we remind ourselves that life is fragile and we can still have joy. Our most joyous holiday, we have to push ourselves to remind ourselves that joy comes maybe because life is fragile. If we always had everything that we want, like most of us, we Americans have, where do we actually find the joy? Joy comes because life is havel havalim, it's mere breath. And so we're coming to the end of Sukkot. Sukkot is fleeting, fading away. And what do we do at the end on the 8th day, Shmini Atzeret, maybe another holiday, is we finish reading the Torah, and then what do? Start over again. That fleeting moment between the beginning, or between the end and the beginning. Even though life is fleeting, may not make it to the end of the Torah reading, we still know that every reading, if you will, is filled with joy. Every day. And that's why when we're out in the Sukkah in a minute, and we have our joy over Kiddush, and our food, and our B'nai Mitzvah leading us, we'll be full of joy, maybe a little bit cold. Maybe a little bit wet, although it didn't rain except from this morning. Maybe a little bit uncomfortable. But that little bit of uncomfortableness is where the joy is found. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach.
Since Rabbi talked about how fleeting our life is and how we need to engage in joy, and that in 2 days, Sukkot will be fleeting as well, and we will conclude these 7 days with Simchat Torah and read from the end to the beginning, as the Rabbi has just explained. And it is our custom at Temple B'nai Or that we unravel the entire scroll so we can see the whole glorious thing in one swoop. So we're going to need a lot of hands to hold the scroll. So Sunday night at 6:15, please join us. It's going to be really fun.
Joyful.
A lot of dancing and a lot of joy. And we're going to need a lot of
I actually learned another thing. In biblical times, during Sukkot, there would be a tradition to read the whole Torah.
We're not going to do that.
No, but maybe that's where Simchat Torah, but like the original biblical tradition was to read the whole Torah during Sukkot. So like this whole week is like all of the joy of the whole year stuffed into 1 week. So come for the conclusion on Sunday night.
It's like the last episode.
Yeah.
And the first episode.
Right. It's the end of the series and the beginning of the spin-off.
Oh my God, that's
So let's begin to conclude. Page 282, please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגוהר עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
285.
Also on the screen. על כן נקווה לך, על כן נקווה לך, על כן נקווה לך, אדוני אלוהינו, על כן נקווה לך, על כן נקווה לך, על כן נקווה לך, אדוני אלוהינו. לראות מהרה ותפארת עוזך, לתקן עולם, לראות מהרה ותפארת עוזך, במלכות שדי. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. If you're here to say Kaddish for a loved one, if you're able, if you're comfortable, please rise when I say their name. We're in the period of Shloshim, the first month of mourning for Isaac Goldman. This week marks the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of Jacob Einbender, Louis Brower, Elliot Becker, John Berger, Lillian Braun, Nina Brecher, Neil Cherniak, Cecilia Firstman, Mabel Gingold, Batya Goldman, Samuel H. Goldstein, Max Goodman, Anna Green, Dorothy Herbert, Pauline Hurstreet, Shirley Kay, Abram Krakauer, Dorothy Leibowitz, Eva Levy, Harry Levy, Manuel Litwin, Leo Lowenstein, Charles M. Menkes, Manuel Pinheiro, Max Reinfleisch, Matthew Rouse, Nathan Slepian, Jerome Stein, Jerry Stein, Marvin Strauss, David Wachtel, Sigmund Weinschenk, Robert Weinstein, Irene C. Weiss, Alice Wiener, Del Yellen, and David Zaborski. If you're online and are remembering someone, you could put their name in the chat. If you're remembering someone whose name was not mentioned, please do so as they go around. Zichanam livracha, may their memories be for blessing. The mourner's Kaddish is on page 294. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash me rabba, v'yamad divrach hirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach, Le'olam u'amei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal, shemei d'kudusha, b'richu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiran b'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all of Israel, to all of the world, to which we say, amen. So I have instructions because we are doing Kiddush in the Sukkah. So please join us in the Sukkah to fulfill a mitzvah of dwelling and eating in the Sukkah. But Andrew and Nathan are going to lead us in Kiddush.
Yeah, please let them go first. And get your prayer book, Andrew, with you.
So now everybody,
See you out there after.
don't block us from getting to the Sukkah, just keep walking.
Yeah, just get to the Sukkah directly.